Sunday shop doo 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 doo. Sunday shop doo 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 doo. Sunday shop doo 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 doo. Arr. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, greeting, salutation, all the other various things. Hope you are well, even though you're not here yet. This is for the benefit of those watching on replay. The clocks have changed in the UK today, so everyone's back on the same time again. For it be Mothering Sunday, the Sunday of Mothers. Or in my case, buy Mary a card, box of chocolates, and a little mini rose to plant. Because it will last a lot longer than a bunch of flowers will. Cheers. So what we've got to talk about this week, I will get this, one of these days I'll get the fact that the camera reverses what I'm looking at. The hair still looks shocking, so yeah, never mind. So yes, what we've been up to this week: work, water changes, more work, gardening, more gardening. Some of it good gardening, not all of it the unfun type. I did film a video which I will upload at some point this week, I hope, providing I remember and don't get carried away doing bugger all. Because it's the thing, it may not look like a huge amount has been done out there, but it has. I've got to the point where I'm now digging up the ivy roots. Yeah, they're interesting. But we're down to ground level with everything bar the holly tree, so there's no more vast amounts of brambles to chop up and get rid of. So it's literally just digging and gradually chopping down the holly tree bit by bit. So yay! I would say no more back-breaking labour, but I've got a funny feeling digging the rest over is going to be, not fun. But we're 2/3 of the way there for where I want the borders to be. That's dug. There's probably the worst third left. Then it's go across the area that was the lawn and clear out all the bramble roots from that. Then get rid of the grass and the weeds and the stuff that's still growing there. And then we can, So, long project, but I'll get there in the end. I think we're now up to around about 300 bulbs I've planted, and I'm not quite halfway yet. So plenty more of those to go in, but I think some should probably start sticking their noses out fairly soon. I will have to get out with the hoe, H-O-E, not H-O. Hello, Dally darling, how the devil are you? Get out there with the hoe and start clearing out weed seedlings, because you clear the soil, it suddenly gets sunlight, and all the seeds from previous years' worth of weeds that have fallen down there suddenly start germinating. There's more plants gone in as well, so not just bulbs, blubs. 3 a.m. Oh dear. Go back to bed, my dearie. Even I don't do 3 a.m. and up and doing stuff. I might be awake, but I'll be sitting in my armchair going, ugh. Getting my nicotine and caffeine levels high enough that I can fall back to sleep again, basically. Uh, yeah. But yeah. Insomnia, not fun. It's again, it's one of those things that people who have not struggled with it just don't seem to understand. Um, I've had it in the past, so I've gone, oh god, yeah, I've been up since 3, had like 2 hours sleep, blah blah blah, whatever. Well, why didn't you just go back to sleep? If it was that easy, I wouldn't be feeling quite so much like a corpse at the moment. Howdy, sexy Sammy. Yeah, exactly. Go back to bed. So yeah, you're just going to lay there and go, yeah, still can't fall asleep. So it's why I do have the the YouTube channels that I listen to when I'm going to bed. Um, and and if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll put it back on again, because it's just having that something that enough there to stop my brain from thinking. Weird enough. You use me for that, do you, Adele? Why, thank you very much. Um, yeah, it's just enough to stop the brain thinking, but not so much. No, stop the brain thinking to itself, but not enough that it actually keeps you occupied and awake. Coffee usually helps me. Yeah, this is it. I think once you get to a level of caffeine dependence, shall we say, you get to a point where not enough caffeine in your system wakes you up, and then you need to have more caffeine to fall back to sleep. It's like a drug that your body gets so used to that you need it for the opposite purpose of what you first started using it for. It's like I first started drinking energy drinks when I was suffering from insomnia to give me that boost in the morning before I had to go to work. Um, yeah, it's that little bit of caffeine. But yeah, basically everything I drink is caffeinated. It's like people say, oh no, you should get the paracetamol plus or whatever, the plus version for a cold. Or I'm like, why? It's got caffeine in it. Not enough to register on my body. It hasn't. The amount of caffeine in a single or in 2 little tablets that it would take to register on my body ain't nothing compared to the amount of caffeine I'm washing them down with. Which is why I bought 1 pack of Sudafed, and then I looked at the ingredients and I was like, oh, it's phenylephrine and caffeine. Okay. So the next pack I just bought a pack of phenylephrine because I didn't need the caffeine. See what we think. I was some kind of neurospicy. Autism or ADHD. Yeah, everyone's on the spectrum to some degree or another. I'm I think I'm probably so far on the spectrum I've gone back round to the beginning again. Like it's an infinity loop. Um, yeah, there's definitely something with me, but don't worry me. I just get on with it. Same as we always used to. Those of us of a certain age, anyway. Yeah, so a certain age where there weren't ADHD, autistic, blah 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 in school. They were just naughty kids. And all say you should blame on drinking out of the hose. Yeah, it'll be all the microplastics coming out of the hose pipe. Yeah, blocking the brain receptors. Yeah, it's just they were just naughty kids. Unless it was like extreme, then it was like okay, yeah, there is something wrong. But other than that, it was just you either behaved or you didn't, and if you didn't, you got in trouble, and trouble wasn't fun. So you learnt to behave. Are we there yet? No discipline, kids. Yeah, it's just a general lack of parenting, and I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should beat it out of kids like some of us had our had, had things beaten out of us, as it were, like conversion therapy, that kind of thing. None of that. No, that's not cool. But a smack, singular, a smack, does a lot more good long term because you bloody remember it. Especially when you got to start young because let's face it, the older you get, the more you just enjoy a smack. Um, oh dear, that's wrong, isn't it? But yeah, that's my view on that anyway. Yeah. Well, there, thankfully, at least in Europe and Britain, we've made most of those things illegal in the foods. Most of the food colorings that triggered the autism, well, not triggered the autism, triggered the hyperactivity and what have you. Yeah, this is it. The line has shifted too far the opposite way. It's the same thing as we were saying the other week with thanks to things like Operation U Tree catching all the well, I say all a load of the high profile nonsense, for want of a better word, especially this early. Um, it just seems to be how things happen. Is you start at one end and you go right to the other end, and you gradually dial it back until you sit in a nice place in the middle. Because I liken it a lot to the ladies wearing a low cut top thing. It's like, yes, a woman should be able to wear what she likes to wear, what makes her feel good. Right? That's an undeniable. And staring is wrong and creepy, and don't do it. But a quick glance is like, ooh, and you just carry on about. Ooh, right. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's normal. It's genetic. But you see it so often these days where a slight glance is And you can see it as well when you see some of the videos on, oh, I see them on YouTube, but they're originally from Instagram or TikTok. The video has been slowed down so it makes it look like the person's been looking for longer than they have. Or they're just absent-mindedly just gazing off into the distance while they're doing something else, and the gaze happens to fall there. There's a difference between eyes are looking in the same place. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with all sorts, isn't it? With everything going on these days, it's one end of the spectrum or the other. We're back to autism. Just don't be a dick. Or if you are, don't get caught. It's quite simple. You get really good at guessing women's ages as well. That's an important one. Getting harder every year, I have to say. Because the older you get, the younger everyone else looks. But thankfully, the older you get, the less attracted you are to younger people. Even if they look good, you're like, yeah, but I don't want all that drama. And besides, I am perfectly happy with Mary. And most of the time these days, it's not me that notices the pretty girls, it's her. She'll nudge me and go, look at that. What? Ooh. It's like, yeah, I didn't notice, but Mary did. Perhaps my boob dar is going faulty. Must be an age thing. Yeah, probably something to do with smoking a pipe. Yeah, smoking a pipe, wearing slippers, and doing gardening on your days off. Isn't life wonderful? Fresh air feeds the bugs because they've been eating me again. And means I can actually go out into the back garden now, which is always a bonus. Go out there without getting stung, well, get bitten, but not getting stung or scratched or assaulted by the plant life. I'm amazed there wasn't a triffid in there somewhere. And if you don't get what a triffid is, yeah, go read the book, The Day of the Triffids. It would have been terrifying. John Wyndham, wasn't it? Yeah. So back to more positive things. Fishies. Have I got anything positive to report? Well, there's nothing negative to report, so that's always a positive. Did spot another baby comet in the pond, an orange one, so we have more than one. Frog spawn is starting to tadpolify itself, so hopefully in another week or two it will always be tadpoles, and then I can pull the net up and get all the leaves and branches and God knows what that's sitting on top of the net over the pond, and maybe tighten that up again. Oh, got some fish for the tank Friday. First one's in the new tank. Oh, what fishies did you get? This is important news here. We need to know about the fishies. You know, primarily this is meant to be a fish channel. Although I know I don't exactly do a huge amount of fishy content anymore. Well, not anymore lately. Pretty much made most of the videos I can make. Endless. Oh, I'm not going to laugh at endless. as first fishies in the tank, endless are superb. Weather is British right now, overcast and rainy. Well, it's dry, sunny and breezy here, and still light. It'll be light until about 7:30 as well. The endless, were they all male, or did you get some females and males mixed? If you got males and females, keep a close eye, because my experience of poeciliads, guppies and endless, similar family, is that the females tend to give birth very shortly after you put them into a new tank mixed. Only they don't need to be old. Yeah, 3 wildly different times, yes. 3:30 in Australia, 6:30. Sorry, 3:30 Monday morning in Australia, 6:30 Sunday evening here, and what did you say? Like 10:30 or something in the morning in Cali. Yeah. So you'd be surprised how young live bearers can give birth. There might only be 1 or 2, but it's something to keep an eye on. I mean, when I first got the big tank behind me, 10:30, first fish I put in was some guppies. I got a mix of males and females. I put them in there on the Thursday. By the Saturday, I had baby guppies swimming around. But, oh, not already. You're only supposed to be in there to help cycle the tank. Yeah. Although I think the record was the dual cichlids, the Hemichromis litholilae. Yeah, dual cichlids. I put them in quarantine. They've been in a quarantine tank for 2 weeks. And I chuck them in there, and within 5 hours they laid eggs. By the next morning, they all came out of the tank again because they'd beaten up the acaras that were, well, like 3 or 4 times their size, and they'd attacked the full-grown Senegal bicher, and the bicher then decided it didn't like being attacked and turned around and took the stomach out of one of the dual cichlids. He just got his tail nipped, turned around, he's like, oh. I was like, oh, okay, you can defend yourself. But the electric blue acaras don't seem to know how. Because they were all 3 then, Bert, Ernie and Donkey. And they were all up this end of the tank, just looking at me like, help, Dad. Do I want the results of your STD test? You think I have HIV or HEP? You've probably got HIV hepatitis knowing you, Sam. Probably got, I don't know, give you a clue, been in inside for 10 years. No. You may have been single, but you're not an incel. There is a difference. Are your fingers dyed orange from Cheetos dust? Do you live in your mother's basement? Do you have a neck beard? Do you take to the internet to complain about how the absolutely stunning women want nothing to do with you because you stink of Cheetos and BO? No. You leave the house. You're a functioning member of. Oh, that's Oh, who was that? An AVE one? Gonorrhea Yeah, you missed out the gonorrhea and the chlamydia. But then you've not been to Australia, so you've not been having fun with koalas. Oh, I live in California. Yes. So for a long time, I was a vol cell, voluntarily so, but I don't know, yeah, for about 20 years, I think. You do attract the men, though, Adele. And you just happen to be in the wrong continent. You know, I'd give you a damn good cuddling. Sam would probably do considerably more. You do. As a man, trust me, you do. Especially now you're all slimline and svelte as well. Yeah. Getting yourself down to the gym and out and about and all that stuff. Yeah, good question. Doesn't add up. Um, hmm. I mean, have you actually tried dating? I know they're horrific. But have you tried any of the online dating things? I mean, I joke. That's where I found. Well, yeah, I found Mary. Yeah, all of them. Yeah. Uh, yeah. It's not you, Adele. Trust us. Trust me and whatever other dudes around. It's not you. You're lovely. I mean, it might. Because when I was looking, not too dissimilar an age to you are now. I was basically, bless you, I was kind of scrolling past the ones that, this is going to sound weird, the ones that weren't divorced, widowed, or had kids. Um, I know that sounds weird because you think, well, the ones that aren't divorced, widowed, and haven't got any kids, they're the ones. But I was like, probably reason why. And the ones that I did go on a date with that didn't have kids, married, blah blah, divorced, whatever. Yeah, they were those dates I had that didn't go well that I've said about in the past. Yeah, they were the ones who didn't have kids or divorced or anything like that. That's what Mr. Right is out there, my dear. I mean, I did find that the pay for ones were better. The freebie ones, where the ones you don't pay a monthly subscription, they were the ones where I found all the time wasters and the people who weren't really interested in looking for a long term relationship. They were the ones that you just looking for a free meal or a roll in the hay. Which, don't get me wrong, has its place, but that's not what I was looking for. Then when I went to okay, I'm going to try. I think, was it Zeus I met Mary on, or Match? I think it was Zeus. And yeah, I'm not saying you meet a better class of people, but people who are more serious about it. Um, I know of all the things I could give advice about, dating is probably the worst thing I could give advice on. Doesn't help you super autistic in public. Because if I can find someone as up as I am, as not antisocial, as unsociable as I am, who has spent the vast majority of their life on their own, then anyone can. If this can find someone, you guys can. Trust me. And I'm not saying I was beating them up with a pipe. That sounds perverted, and it wasn't meant to. Only at the same time, I had a friend exactly the same age, and he couldn't find anyone. But that's because he was in his late 30s and looking for a stunning teenage blonde with huge boobs. It's not going to work. I've had a woman who's willing to give up on her life to settle down with me. Well, they don't have to give up their life. Mary's got her life, I've got my life. We come together to do things together. That's not just rolling the hay. Um, Different things work for different people. My God, me bad enough I'm the well-being person at work, the person that people are supposed to go to when they're having problems or struggling mentally. Oh God, I should have become a psychologist or a psychiatrist, shouldn't I? Yeah, we were all awkward as F in public. Well, maybe not all of us. Um, that's why I mean, you can. I mean, the dog park is a public place. Yeah, you can meet someone there. And so do the chatty bit first online. Say, I'm a bit socially awkward. Once I get to know people, I'm fine. It's not a problem. But at first, I can be a bit. We all feel weird when we meet new people. Especially when you realise that their photo was heavily edited, out of date, and you're still just wanting to be polite. No one wants to talk and get to know people first. Yeah, there is that sort of immediacy thing going on these days, I suppose. But so obviously, I've not experienced it from a woman's point of view, just from a. Otherwise, I see he's 20 odd. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a lot of us probably haven't taken photos of ourselves in 20 years. But yeah, it's not just the guys, the women do it too. I've turned up for a date in the past with someone and I didn't recognise them from their picture when they turned up. Screams midlife crisis. Or they haven't realised that they look considerably different now than they did back then. The old beer belly and grey hair and receding hairline. But yeah, picture me sat there where I'm supposed to be meeting someone, looking completely vague, vacant, just looking around. And then some woman sits beside me. Oh, hi, John. Such and such. Pleased to meet you. Trying to hide that. Who the hell are you? Are you the woman I'm supposed to be meeting? You look nothing like your picture. Trying not to let that show. Not the easiest. No, give it a go. See what happens. If you get on or not. Uh, yeah. And there are a lot of time wasters out there that are looking for either a free meal, a hookup, or just something to do. Really? There was one who wanted to go on a date to watch a movie. Literally, just go to the cinema theatre, watch the movie, come out, and go our separate ways. I mean, that's not really a date. Can't really get to know each other or have a conversation. That's just you want to go see this movie, you want me to pay for it, and buy you God knows how many snacks, and I get to sit there for a couple of hours, bored to tears, watching some god awful rom com. It'll happen, Del. Trust me. You find somebody. Might be some weird fishy person. Might be someone who knows absolutely nothing about fish. Well, who cares nothing about fish? Doesn't matter. Each person has their own interests. We all liked exactly the same things. Life would be really boring. The trick is to accept the other person's interests and quirks and show interest in their interest, as it were. Ask them about it. Christ. There was one that was going well. She loved dancing. Dancing was her thing. I don't mean to like going to a club dancing, like proper ballroom type dancing. So I actually sort of, did some research, watched some videos, and I thought, obviously that didn't work out, but mainly because I had shown an interest in her interests, but anytime I brought up any of my interests, I got shut down. So yeah, these things have to go both ways. As soon as I lost weight and grew my hair out and walked around like her, so when you think this is I open my mouth and word diarrhea spills out. Mm-hmm. This why it's probably better to get to know someone at first via text or message, because then you can stop yourself and go, right, what do I want to say? And then say it. And then give them a chance to reply. Are you actually incoherent? You've been listening to me speak for God knows how long. I'm pretty much incoherent most of the time. Being stoned all the time doesn't help. Yeah, but yeah, maybe if you're looking to meet someone, maybe don't turn up stoned. I know it helps generally with things like anxiety and pain and all sorts, but yeah, it's probably best to not turn up stoned. I may have done that once. It didn't go well. Heck, there were a few of them where it didn't come up naturally in conversation. Do you smoke? No. Yes. Um, where because obviously before you go on your date, you have a good scrub and a scrape and make sure you're not stinking. And you've been there like 2 hours. And you're out in public. Mind if I have a smoke? Yeah, I'm not going to make you do it. Don't worry. Yeah, just because I smoke. Which is why I gave up smoking the first time, or the one and only time. And then I realised, you know what? I enjoy smoking too much to sacrifice it for getting my end away, as it were. Yeah. The relationship I had before Mary, which didn't last that long, a month and a half maybe, something like that. It was her daughter's birthday, so stressful. So I went round hers, did the whole birthday thing. Evening, Raina. Shadow bullied by Californian Queen. So I went round hers, did the whole kiddie's birthday. Her ex-husband was there, her parents were there, her ex-husband's parents were there. I was getting grilled by all the little girls' mothers. Proper stressful. Not grilled in a good way. Asked all sorts of personal questions and things that I'm like, why are you asking me this? You only just met me. So I decided, I'm going to go for a walk because I just need 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. And happened to walk past the shop, bought a packet of ciggies and a lighter. Had a ciggy, felt a lot better after that. Went back to her place. I was even like smoking, standing so the wind was blowing the smoke away from me. Making sure. As soon as I walk in, you've been smoking. That's disgusting. Calm down. Start spraying me down with God knows what. I'm like, calm down, woman. I had a cigarette. I'm stressed. What do you expect? Yeah. So that didn't last much longer. Because that night we went to bed. And she started talking about, if you got like new furniture and redecorated your house and had like the kitchen and the bathroom done, you get more money for it when you sell it. What do you mean when I sell my house? Yeah, when you sell it. I'm not planning on selling it. Why would I sell where I live? Big red flag. I was like, okay. So I went and slept on the couch. And then get up in the morning. Apparently, she cried herself to sleep, cried all night long. Well, I didn't hear a single thing, and I barely slept on the couch. It was bloody cold. And we had a big blowout in the morning. And I was like, you know what? I ain't going to deal with this. Bye. Went and walked to the train station and sat there a couple of hours because it was a Sunday morning, waiting for the first train back to Norwich. And yes, I did have to turn my phone off because she was spamming me with messages. And we've not been together 6 weeks, and you're asking me to sell my house, basically because you want me to move in with you. And I'm guessing pay off your mortgage. So I'm then chained. I can't get away. No, I'm not that dumb. So that one didn't last long. She tried guilt tripping me with the kids as well. Actually came over like, what was it, about a week later, a few days later. obviously I had no knowledge of this because I'd already deleted her number and blocked it. And there's a knock on my door, and there's the two kids stood there, 4 and 6. Daddy, when are you coming home? Okay. Where's Mummy? Go away. Don't make me get a restraining order. Yeah, that didn't go down very well. But yeah, out of that one, thankfully. Right. Because I forgot to do something before I started the stream, I'm going to have to do it now. I'll be back in a minute. I need to go and drain a vein. Oh, oh, God. Ow. Stand up. Oh, baby black. I hope you didn't hear that fart. Oh dear. Ugh. Yeah, why should he sell a house where you can rent it out instead? Yeah. Maybe if I had have moved in with her and things had have worked out and she hadn't turned out to be a psychopath, then yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have rented my house out. The mortgage was paid off. Well, was the mortgage paid off by then? Yeah, pretty much. Or it would have been soon. So yeah, I'd have been mortgage free, sensible amount of money coming in from renting a house. So yeah, I would have literally just had to work very part time. Except I wouldn't. She would have wanted me working full time to get as much money as possible, so she didn't have to work. Yeah, you know how that's going to end up, don't you? That would have ended up with me saving up my own money and buying another house myself, or just moving out, moving back in here. And bye. Yeah, and it's not like I could have kept my same job either, because she was what? Well, it was 2 trains away. So you know, it was I would have had to switch job, and she lived in a tiny little village in the middle of nowhere, which thankfully had a train station. So I had to found a job somewhere I've got no idea where anything is. I mean, which would have been the train journey to and from work every day. Whereas at the time I was walking 5 minutes to and from work every day. No. And dealing with 2 young children as well. I'm glad I got out of that one. Yeah, that was never going to end well, let's be honest. She basically wanted another kid, is what I think it was, so that she could then get more money out of someone. But yeah, lessons learned, definitely. Um, yeah, not for me. Anyway, should we try something a bit more upbeat than Sharpe's failed relationships? Um, yeah, so I've done quite a bit in the garden, but it's not really a lot to talk about. It's just I've got rid of all the brambles now, started getting rid of the ivy and doing more digging, and planted a bunch more bulbs and a bunch more plants. But I did film it as a video, so there's that to look forward to. Stay away from mothers where each kid's got their own dad. I mean, to be fair, they were both by the same guy. Um, they were married. Yeah, that was the. I think the person I had the most in common with at that birthday party was the ex-husband's new girlfriend, because we both felt completely out of place. Uh, it's like, yeah. The only person I know is my current girlfriend, and kind of know her kids. I ain't got a clue about anyone else though. She would have been the same. But for some reason, we were kept well away from each other. There was a good couple of hours where I was just sat in the kitchen on my own, like, yeah, this is real fun. Then doing the normal everyday, normal every person kind of Saturday evening, just sitting and watching TV. Fair enough, but not the bloody rubbish that she wanted to watch. My God, that was awful. Typical Saturday night primetime TV entertainment shows that you can imagine how much they would bore the pants off me. And me not sit there and pick holes in it. I can't do it. Be like when I watched The Sixth Sense for the first time, and I figured out very early on what was going on. And there's a group of us sat there watching it. Most, if not all, had seen it before. I went, oh, so Bruce Willis's character's dead then? Huh? Bloody obvious. He didn't show up in the reflection. No one else can see him. How did you get it? And it's also not a really big secret. The movie's been out a while, and I'm a kind of movie watcher, so yeah. Then I was watching a reaction to Blair Witch Project the other day. And yeah, that was a millennial reacting to Blair Witch Project, let's say, with Gen Z or whatever they are. And there was, yeah, it'd be Gen Z. And they basically complained that nothing happened, but they were still terrified. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the point. Last movie night, I got my phone out on a board, watching my tanks over the security. Yeah. Yeah, that's when you know that the movie's not exactly holding your attention. When you start, when you get your phone out and start not just checking for messages, you start sort of surfing for stuff. Find yourself watching YouTube videos on your phone while you're supposed to be watching the movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that quite a bit. Not necessarily movies, but um, I'll stick a long documentary or something on, and yeah, after a while, I'll find myself either randomly surfing through Reddit or playing a game on a tablet, something like that. You know, it's bad when you get up and do the washing up and leave the movie playing. You got to watch this, and about half hour in, you realise it's basically a remake of something else. They just changed the character names. You know, I know this. I know how this movie's going to end. Don't need to watch it. I know it. When the online shopping, surfing and looking for, oh, that's cool things to buy. I tend to do that at work. So the joys of working the closes where it gets quieter and quieter and quieter towards closing time. So you just get more bored and more bored and more bored. And yeah, I've been surfing looking for plants mostly lately, or model kits, or bike parts, or fishy stuffs. I'm not normal. I can watch a tank for hours, but usually sleep after 30 minutes of a movie. That's the thing, isn't it? You get to a certain point. I watched that many bloody movies over the years. It's ridiculous. There's only so many stories you can tell. And given how Hollywood, the American movie industry in particular, loves its remakes and its franchises and sequels, it's just nothing new and exciting or interesting. Which is why at one point I started watching Korean and Spanish movies. Different, willing to take a risk. You know, they understand, people that understand, or studios that understand that just because a movie may not make all its money back in the first 2 weeks in the box office doesn't mean it's not going to be a slow burner in the streams, TV sales, DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, whatever they are these days, all add up. And especially since COVID, a lot of us don't want to be sitting in a movie theatre surrounded by other people's germs. Probably on a seat that stinks of someone else's urine. Currently watching a pair of clownfish clean a rock. More interesting than, I'm guessing, more interesting than the latest Marvel movie. Yeah. I'd much rather watch a no-name independent movie than a big-name blockbuster. They're just getting worse and worse as films go. It's getting dumbed down and dumbed down and dumbed down. No, the dialogue is like the important bit, the storytelling, the cinematography. Films ain't getting better. They're not. I mean, the CGI effects might be getting better, but I'd still rather a real werewolf suit than a CGI one. So the horror genre is so much and so many different movies, and you get different twists and turns and changes in what you think is going one way. It suddenly takes a 90-degree turn and goes the other way. It's they're more interesting to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit and watch some long piece of exposition, Dr. Zhivago or War and Peace or something like that. That would just bore me silly. But flashy CGI doesn't do it for me. There's got to be more to a movie than just, oh wow, the sound's amazing. Look at the explosions and the CGI. Yeah, whatever. I mean, what we got there? So there's so many. Have I got any big name blockbusters obvious to hand? Probably not. Oh yeah, there you go. There's two. There's Fury sat there. Right. Everyone goes Fury. Oh, it's awesome. It's amazing movies. I'd rather watch the Russian-made Siege of Sevastopol because it's better. To adopt American working class as their king ain't. Yeah. Well, he thinks he's king, doesn't he? He's acting like he's a medieval king. In which case, I say we resurrect Queen Victoria and send her over to have a word. She'll sort him out. Hell, she was the grandmother of basically the whole of Europe. The reason World War One did not happen earlier is ask for the desk back. Yeah, the reason World War One didn't happen earlier is Victoria. She's the reason it didn't happen. She died and Edward took over and World War One happened. Yeah, great. Yeah, I did see it. Was it one of the French ministers basically said, the way you're going, you ought to send the Statue of Liberty back. I thought that was hilarious. Oh dear. Yes. Yeah. Again, he should be glad he's not monarchist France back in the days before Napoleon, because him and Elon's heads would be in a sack by now, along with the rest of the crazy ones. So tonight we're going to get some new taxes. Yeehaw! Yeah, but we're going to cut the taxes for the wealthy. But to pay for that, we have to get rid of some of the stuff that we do for the poor. That's the wrong way round. You should be putting the taxes up on the wealthy and cutting them on the poor, giving more assistance to the poor so they can get out of their situation. And then they won't be poor and they won't need the assistance. If you gradually bring everyone up, oh yeah, but then yeah, you can't be doing that and educating everyone, because then they won't fall for your BS and lies anymore. Yeah. I mean, it's not just the US. I mean, stuff's happening in the UK too, but one chicken here is cheaper than a dozen eggs in the USA. Yeah, same here. And you think that chicken would drop those 12 eggs in 12 days, maybe 13. And also, the chickens there and here aren't treated with chlorine. They aren't full of chemicals and stuffs. Fed far healthier. It's one of the sort of more amusing videos to watch is the American reacts to European or UK grocery prices. Okay, we may not have the choice of 30 different brands of ketchup, might be 2 or 3, but it's a half the price. Currently shopping for turkey. Oh, steroid chicken. Oh, turkey. Oh. I mean, I don't eat chicken at the best of times, but turkey is just foul. But nah, I've never liked turkey, not even as a kid. Let's just say it wasn't like one of the highlights of Christmas for me, having turkey. Can't we just have beef instead? It's cheaper, it doesn't take longer to cook, and it tastes better. But no, you got to have turkey. Why? Because it's an American thing, not a British thing. Our turkey will help me scare off birds of prey. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, you won't get the little hawks and raptors coming in after a turkey, that's for sure. Chickens maybe. Or if there are any foxes around there, they'll go for the turkey. We do have an urban fox around here. I've not seen it. I say urban fox. Yeah, a fox. I mean, it's a town, but let's be honest, it's a rural town. Not seen it, but I've seen it scat. So, yeah, there is a fox around here. Lost since last year 10 chickens to birds. Yeah, yeah. Which means that the local, I'm guessing it's probably going to be something like a buzzard or a kite. I'm not entirely sure what the birds of prey are in Austria. Yeah, there's not going to be a sparrowhawk or something. Yeah, buzzards. Yeah, well, a buzzard might. Yeah, yeah, probably wouldn't be able to take away a turkey. Yes, I mean they're generally scavengers, but if they can't find food and they've found where there is food, they will keep coming back. It's probably the same bird, to be honest. What same one or two? Um, yeah, we don't get buzzards around here very often. I've seen one or two, but we get more sparrowhawks, kestrels. There's actually peregrines. The whole family. Oh yeah, yeah. One chicken will feed a whole family of buzzards. Um, so yeah, it's probably they can't find food elsewhere, and your chickens are an easy catch. Um, yeah, I mean, we do have red kites around here now, which is awesome to see. Unless they get too close and you realise just how damn big they really are. It's not just a big wingspan; they got a big body as well. I've had one literally flying alongside the road while I was cycling along in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, silkies. Yeah, well, they're bantams, aren't they? So yeah, snack sized. On a, so because when I think of chicken, obviously having lived on chicken farms and worked in chicken factories, I'm thinking a big chicken. Thinking 3 or 4 kilo after it's been gutted, plucked, deheaded, defooted, all that stuff. So yeah, big chickens. Kind of one that feeds a family and you still have leftovers, which is what generally people keep and have because they grow. And the bigger the chicken, the more eggs it lays. Still one a day, but yeah, that's a scary thought, isn't it? That a chicken can lay an egg every day. Yeah, yeah, Brahmas, Buff Orpingtons, any of the browns, pretty much. Yeah, all fairly chunky birds. Don't necessarily have the sort of looks of a silky or a bantam because they're not bred for show or looking nicer. They're bred for growing fast and producing lots of meat and eggs. So there's that. Around here, you just go to a livestock auction and buy them for like £1 each. Turkey for profit since buying meat sells for €25. Yeah, yeah. So get a couple of turkeys and they pay to feed the chickens for the rest of the year. Much like me with bristlenoses. The bristlenoses breed. I sell the bristlenoses. It pays for the food and the electric and the water to run the tanks, and whatever I use on top as well, pretty much. it's an interesting one. I mean, I haven't got the land. And if you've seen the video, you've seen how big my back garden is. It's not big enough for chickens, let alone turkeys. So I thought I'd keep a pair and let them breed even cheaper. Yep, it's always an option. That's the thing with livestock. You get a boy and a girl and they tend to make more of themselves. Although someone on the allotments over that way, they keep chickens, and they decided to get a rooster. I'm guessing probably to help scare away foxes and dogs and cats. And I think the people that live closer are regretting that decision of that person, because it crows every morning. I don't hear it because double glazed windows and doors, and yeah, keeps the sound out, but I have heard it crowing. 2 hectares, yeah, and that's plenty big enough. I'm on what is it, 28, what's that, around about 6.5 meters square. 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, yeah, that's what I've got as a back garden. Nothing too ridiculous compared to some of the houses that are getting built these days. It's quite large. And that's probably the reason why most people these days are either just grass or putting down astroturf or patio, slabs, concrete, the whole garden over, because when you put a 6-foot fence all the way around it, that means most of the year you're not getting any light on any of it, so nothing will grow. Quite rude with that porch swing. I haven't got a porch swing, you know that. That's not the kind of swinging I do. I may well have to get myself a chair so I can sit out there and enjoy it a bit in the summer, but we shall see. I've got my fishing chair upstairs, so I could use that. That's got a little side table on it. Actually get some use out of it. All big enough for chickens. I mean, the last time that got used was when Mary first moved into her house and had to get all the, I know, but it made me think though. So she moved in and didn't have any furniture, so I lent her my fishing chair because it's comfortable and airbed. She literally had to buy everything. She was starting from scratch. Yeah. Thankfully, she timed it so that it was during the summer holidays, so she had plenty of time at home to get things sorted. And one of these days, I will remember to bring my. I'm going to go grab my pipe tool. Oh. Just so I can scrape out the, well, not scrape out, remove the ash, as it were. So I'm not just lighting ash every time. There we go. Break up the cake a bit because it's solidified quite heavily. And use the tamper. We have a breaky uppy spoony bit. pokey bit and a tampery bit. Give it a tamp down. Big wooden skewer. Yeah, whatever works. I just got that with the pipe, so oh, come on, camera. Oh, don't make me lean forward like this all night. No. Oh, has it finally gone back to focus? No. Oh well, it'll go there eventually. Hang on. Ugh. Come on, camera. Focus. There we go. Slightly better. Yeah, I've watched some videos on how to smoke a pipe and things like that, and I'm looking for something different out of my pipe smoking than the proper pipe smokers are. They're looking just for the taste and the flavour and the experience. I'm looking for a nicotine. And preferably one that doesn't go out every 2 seconds. What we got there? Come on, camera, focus. No? Oh well. Let's try it again. Except this time I just stick a slipper over the camera. There we are. Yeah. Tobacco tastes of tobacco to me. There is no point in me buying posh brands or anything like that. I've just nicked. I've got some licorice pipes on my back. Oh, licorice. Oh, it's been a long time since I had licorice. I remember when you used to be able to buy licorice sticks, literally the root, for like 2p off the market, and try to grow tobacco. You can buy the plants; they grow quite easily in the UK. It's just the preparing it afterwards, the drying the leaves, and then shredding them fine enough to put in a pipe or a cigarette. That's the pain in the butt. And also, apparently, they are quite prone to pests that we have in the UK as well. Yeah, it needs to be dried out fairly rapidly. Mandy Pandy. Hello, Mr. Sharpe. So getting ready to head out for a meeting in a bit. So I want to come and say hello and like giant hugs. Giant hugs back. Mwah. And a smooch too, because why the heck not? And as always, I need some nicotine after hugging. Calm myself back down. Out for a meeting. Ooh, that does sound a bit hopefully not something like Alcoholics Anonymous or a parent-teacher meeting. Hopefully a fish club meeting or something similar, something fun, not something miserable. And it is Mother's Day though, so happy Mother's Day, my dear. So, yeah, and as you may have figured out, the clocks have changed in the UK now, so we're back to the same times. That was last night, so I'm an hour short of sleep. Yay. Probably a couple of hours, to be honest, because I didn't get to sleep very early, and then I kept waking up during the night, so yeah. Should mean I sleep well tonight, at least. Me and the tank taking up vodka. Online meeting with Foxy for wedding planning, and then I think I'd rather the Alcoholics Anonymous than the wedding planning. Or I can just imagine Foxy in a little wedding dress, all cute and demure. Yeah, dental. Yeah, I don't bother with that. Just as well I don't smile and show my teeth a lot, really, isn't it? Or I try and stay a fair distance away from the camera so it doesn't show up how bad and how British my teeth are. Yeah, it's not good. It's what happens when you drink lots of Coke and smoke lots. They change colour. I do the job. Keep my gums from clashing and chew my food quite happily, so that's all I'm worried about. When the time comes, they will all eventually drop out. Now, I don't drink coffee, but I do drink like 2 litres of cola a day. So there is that. That will stain your teeth, as well as being a fairly heavy smoker for a long time. And I haven't been to a dentist in, God, well over a decade. Generally, you go to the dentist and your teeth feel rough as hell afterwards, and they hurt, and then you have to let the plaque build up to fill in the gaps to smooth things out again. This is not good. What they think is right isn't right for me. Plus, we've got the NHS, so hopefully I'll make it to retirement before I need them all pulled out and replaced, and get some dentures, and then I'll get it all done for free. Because yeah, the two things that aren't completely covered on the NHS are your eyeballs and your teeth. The rest is all free apart from prescriptions. Yeah, you do have to pay for eye test, glasses, and dental work. Or if you do it through the NHS, is a lot cheaper. For example, private, when my wisdom tooth fell apart, they wanted £500 to extract it. I was like, that's okay, I'll cope with the pain for a couple of months until the nerves die. And then eventually, it gradually worked its way out. A couple of years, was it a few years ago? The last bit of it finally came out. I was eating something. I was like, what's that moving around in my mouth? Like you do when you're a kid and you've got a wobbly tooth, you work it with your tongue, and they're like, yeah, there's the last bit of my. Let's throw it in the ashtray. Oh yeah, that's all healed up underneath. Woohoo! Now it's my right side canine as well. hey ho. That's probably got something more to do with where I hold a cigarette than anything else. Because I do have a tendency, if I'm like sitting and watching TV or walking or something like that, if it's emergent, causing medical issues. Yeah, you can. If it's an emergency, you can go to the emergency dentist, but you still got to pay. I mean, it's not American amounts of money, but I mean, last time I had again going back a while, but I had root canal, crown, gold crown, couple of fillings. Well, so someone else, and an extraction. And under the NHS, that was 200 quid, roughly, which I think is the maximum they could charge at the time for NHS dental work. But yeah, that was an interesting one. I wouldn't suggest any of those ever again. I would rather they just pulled the tooth out rather than did the root canal, because that hurt more than the tooth having a big hole in it hurt. The tooth itself didn't hurt. They just, dentists being dentists, decided, oh, this needs this doing. Nowadays, if I went, I'd just be like, no, just pull it out. Be done with it. But you know the reason dentists hate pulling teeth out? It's not because it's going to mess up your smile. It's it's not because it's not going to look nice. It's because every tooth they pull out, they don't get to do anything more for. If they fill it and then something else goes wrong or it breaks again, you either need another filling or you need a root canal or a crown. Whereas if they pull it out, they don't get any more money from that tooth. It's a bit like, we bemoan the throwaway society these days, where things don't last like they used to. There's a reason for that. Because if things last too long, you don't buy another one. It's like, my drill is 20 odd years old. Still works absolutely fine. So, yeah. I've not bought another drill. Whereas if I bought an equivalent drill these days, it would probably, and I don't use a drill much, so it might last a year or two and then I'd need another one. Yeah, teeth don't get better once they're damaged. Exactly. You just sort of fill in the holes. Yeah, planned obsolescence. Exactly. And it'd be something like you see. I'm going to talk drills because that's what I've got a lot of experience with at the moment. You'll get the brushless drills, right? And you also get brushed drills still, which are the cheaper end of the market. But the brushes aren't replaceable anymore. So once the brushes wear out, you need to buy a new drill. Huh? So you can't just pop the springs out, take the old brushes out, buy a new pair and chuck them in and it'll work like new again? No. Such is the way. But then, and then everything going battery powered or cordless, as they call it, your batteries have a finite lifespan as well. Doesn't matter whether it's a nickel cadmium, nickel metal hydride, or a lithium ion or a lithium polymer. They all have a finite lifespan on them. So why put batteries in there that are going to have a longer life than the tool? Well, then you look at the price of the batteries for power tools, and I'll stick with the ones that plug in and have an extension lead. Not like I'm short of extension leads around here, is it? Let's be honest. It's not like I do a huge amount of drilling things either, so yeah. Yeah, there is that. People don't know how to fix things anymore, which is sad. Yeah, and there are probably in the UK we have a fuse in the plug which plugs into the wall, the legal requirement. And there are probably appliances that have been thrown away just because the plug's gone or the fuse has gone in the plug. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, lithium batteries are more powerful, much more power dense than lead acid, nickel, cadmium, whatever. Yeah, and they charge a lot quicker as well. But when they go wrong, they don't just stop working. They tend to go up in flames, and you, putting a lithium fire out is real difficult. Basically, you just have to let it burn. Yeah. I mean, the worst I've ever seen from a nickel cadmium was a cell pop, which just, yeah, it didn't even do any damage to the RC car it was in. I've seen lithium cells in RC cars go up, and it's just a fireball. Which is why at race meetings, yeah, there's a fly in here that keeps landing on me. At race meetings, batteries have to be stored in, or lithium batteries have to be stored in a lithium safe pouch, basically a fireproof pouch when they're being charged, discharged, just out of the car, because there's the danger. And the thing is, the batteries that are used in RC cars make the ones that are in phones or vapes. Yeah, they make them look like a little AA battery. Yeah, because they're very highly stressed batteries. They're very highly rated on the charge and discharge fronts, so they're very energetic. Let's put it that way. Yeah, and you get one of the what are they, 7.4 volt? Yeah, 7.4 volt. You get one of them go up, you know about it. So 7.2 volt NiCad or nickel metal, it just stops working. At the very most, one of the cells might pop. But yeah, and they have a safety vent on them as well. Like the end of it is weaker on purpose, so that if it does build up pressure, it just blows that seal open. Lithiums, nah, we'll just wrap it in a bit of plastic, and then we'll stick it in a plastic box. That'll be fine. Yeah, I've seen plenty of those. Yeah, exactly. AEC, which, to those of us who know, means it is safe to discharge at a constant rate of 80 amps. which is a hell of a lot of power coming out. And I think the ones I've got 35 and 40 C, which is plenty enough for an RC car. I have got one that's more powerful, but that's yeah. Again, that's one that was purchased especially for one particular truck. Have I still got it, or did I sell it? No, I sold it. Basically, it just, yeah. I went back to nickel metals for my crawler because that runs 7.2, 3,300 milliamp packs, running twin 14-volt motors. So to the rest of me, Dizzy in the bathroom because oh no, just had to rush to yeet. Dizzy being, I'm hoping, a dog, not a child. A cat. Yeah. Oh, poor Dizzy. At least cats give you a warning. They start making that noise, don't they? And even if you've never had cats before, as soon as a cat makes that noise, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. Zach started making that noise around here once, and I was like, that's not good. So I was like, come on, buddy, open the back door, and he went straight out all over the patio. Then had a drink out the pond and came back in. Like nothing had happened. I'm like, dude, you just hurled your guts up. I'd probably still be sitting in the toilet by now. It is. That's that a noise that can get you from fast asleep to wide awake in about 0.2 seconds. You're like, oh crap. Yeah, tiles are easier to clean. Well, speaking of which, Mary's son Adam, it was his birthday this week, 24, I believe, and he went out on the alcohol Saturday night. He left a puddle outside the door as well before he came in. Then was talking to himself, fell up the stairs, spent quite a while in the bathroom with the tap running, and then went to bed and woke up with a hangover this morning. But thankfully, all he had eaten was a tub of Millionaire shortcake or shortbread. No, that's the shortbread with a bit of caramel and a bit of chocolate on top. Or he'd eaten a tub of them. So that was easy enough to clean up in the morning after with the watering can. As I said, yeah, just be glad it weren't kebab or pizza or chicken or something like that, because that'd be grim to clean up. Tend to got to run. Good to see you too, Mandy. Have a wonderful Mother's Day, my dear. And give Roxy a smooch for me and a hug as well. If she remembers who I am, I'm sure she probably will. You too, my dear. Don't go overdoing it. Thank you. And congratulations to her and Pep as well, because I haven't seen them lately to say congratulations myself. Yes. Two lovely peoples. That's a point. I'm going to have to message Amber, because I haven't heard from Amber for ages. Well, I'll say I've never had issue. We'll leave it there. Much as I enjoy watching someone else's beef on the internet, I try and avoid it myself. I've, I've caused enough over the years, mostly in the modelling groups and some in the cycling groups. So we'll leave it. With the cycling, it's more just me trolling people. No beef, just observing. Mother's Day, 11th of April. It's weird how it changes from different countries, doesn't it? It's like the clock's changing as well. It's got different dates. May there. I think Father's Day is usually, is it June or July? One of them. Not that I pay any attention to it or think about it. It's like a lot of these things. This is like you see the stuff in the store and you're like, oh, right. But then Father's Day, I don't have to worry about. It's not like I'm going to get my dad anything. It's just, admittedly, Mary normally gets me a card and some little prezzies as well. Hopefully, she doesn't go and spoil me. She has a tendency to do that. 8th of June. Yeah. And the real funny thing is, it's Vater's Day in German or Austrian, which I think is probably more apt, probably more accurate. Vater's Day. Well, that was me earlier. Cool dear, I had wind. Seems to have passed, unfortunately. I'd have much rather had it at work, where the correct people can be experiencing it. Leave a green cloud in an aisle. Wait for someone to walk into it and start gagging. Or is that just me? Yeah. It's me who likes to leave little traps randomly around the warehouse. Or let one drop behind a colleague when they're serving a customer. So they can't get away from it. Oh dear. I'm mean, I know. I'm such a troll. Troll. Oh, hello, Corridori. Hello, upside down catfish. No, I don't have an upside down catfish. It's just pleco upside down, as usual. Hey, yeah, we're going to have to clean the glass on that again, aren't we? All you female Limia are looking heavily pregnant again. What can I see? Oh God, there's an entire cloud of baby Limia in there again. Never mind. Yeah, there's at least 40 baby Limia that I can see just then. So, yay. Hopefully the Amica splendens and the Scyphia multipunctata do the same thing. Although that's not going to happen because they reproduce far more slowly and in far fewer numbers, which is why they're okay in a smaller tank. But yeah. And yeah, the female Amica splendens are all pregnant again. And it looks like the female Scyphia are also pregnant. So we might have to take the yo-yo loach out of that tank because I'm not sure whether it's going to go on the babies. I think it might be getting big enough to think about bullying poor old Fred out of his cave if he's on eggs as well. So We'll leave it in there as long as we can to get rid of as many snails as we can. Because, you know, I'm not that I'm ever going to clear out all of the trumpet snails. I could completely strip the tank down to nothing, pull all the plants out, clean out the tank, reset with completely new stuff, and there would still be a trumpet snail would turn up from somewhere. It's like shrimp tanks. Got a few expensive fish with real good deals. The damaged, missing fins or eyes when the price is right. Yeah, when, you know, those things aren't necessarily genetic. So if they breed, the fry ain't gonna have those problems. Yeah. Doesn't matter as long as the fish is swimming about and healthy. Although that does remind me, spotted this morning that Mr. Cara, the Nanacara anomala, has got a bit of Popeye going on, so he may well be on the way out. Which will mean we can think about something else to go into. A lower pH black water tank. Try something else. Maybe some Apistos. Probably some Apistos. Although they'll probably eat all the shrimp that are in there. So maybe move the shrimp out first. Or at least as many as I can. There's bloody hundreds of them in there. Do the stick a bowl in there, a little yeah, it's a little bowl kind of thing. Stick some food in it, wait for it to be full of shrimp, and then just put your hand over the top and take it out. That's the easiest way to catch them. And then just move into the next tank over and hope that the big change in pH doesn't kill them. Or just sell them on. But yeah. Anywho, 'tis 8 o'clock UK time, so mein Timing is uppin'. My worst attempt at a bad German. So thank you to everyone who turned it up and stuck with me, and for God knows whatever we waffled about today, all sorts. Yeah, this week there should be another, or the second video on, it'll either be the second video on the garden or the next part of the tour around Gresson Hall. Yeah, exactly. Still be, yeah, there'll still be snails in there. Anyway, thank you very much for everyone who's been here. Hope you have a good day. If it's not your Mother's Day, have a good day anyway. Have a good week. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. Oh, grab the mouse. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do.